Hey friends. I I had something show up this morning. Well, last couple days really. But it crystallized this morning because I mentioned in a post a few days ago that I put some time in on some projects that I been procrastinating on for a little while. And both of them had been started, but I'd kind of let the ball drop on them for a while, and I'd had this intention to get back to them. Kind of kept finding ways of of avoiding that, and then finally dove in, and then I spoke a little bit about the feeling that comes from that kind of work when it's almost like, I likened it to a physical workout. Like after you've done a physical workout, your body just feels good. It feels like it's doing what it's supposed to do. Health has a palpable quality to it. There's a tangible, palpable feeling of health that occurs in the physical body. I was having the almost exact same kind of experience, but it wasn't physical. It was more just in my overall system, in my psychic system. It was that sense of, yeah, we did the work we were supposed to do today. We made some movement. It wasn't a ton of movement even, but it gave me that. It was enough to really lift my entire system. And so then I went about my days, and I noticed something, which is that almost immediately within 24 hours of my sending that energy out, right? Initiating the projects, reinitiating the projects. I got text messages, phone calls, emails, offering me other projects. What? And it was like, oh, right. This is how it works. When I get my system into alignment with the universe, with my purpose, then it's like it opens the doors to opportunity. The doors of opportunity begin to they go, oh, look at that, he's awake. Let's give him something to work with. And these other things started pouring into my life. Now, interestingly, I caught myself before I went too far. I caught myself and thought, hold on. Sometimes that torrent of opportunity is exactly what we need, and we really need to just receive it and embrace it and say yes to it. At other times, that alignment that I was starting to feel invites opportunities, but that are also distractions. In other words, that open door lets through all kinds of stuff. It's not necessarily only the stuff that we want to be focusing on. And so, and in my, especially since I think I was well served by the recent reading of the book 4,000 Weeks, which I've spoken about on this post, which to very coarsely summarize it, he's basically making a case for doing less and maximizing the real connection and quality that we have with the selection of things that we choose to spend our life on, as opposed to allowing ourselves to be spread too thin. It's a much more articulate and interesting book than that, but that's one of the lessons. And I had that sort of in my awareness as I got these, as I sort of like the doorbell was ringing, the phone was ringing kind of from all over. And I was like, wait a minute though. But I just kind of struck out in a direction, and now I'm getting pulled over here and pulled over here. And I've got a little thing to look at over here. And I was like, are these things I should be saying yes to and embracing? Or do I need to just keep my energy going down this path and give this a little bit of my time and focus, as opposed to picking up another shiny ball and playing with it? So there was kind of two lessons in this for me. One is how much changes, how quickly things can change, and how much a change in our own alignment can have an effect. Like that's something to register. That's a big deal. And I'm sure that you've all had that experience, and it's a nice one. It's nice to remember that behind a seemingly, that a seemingly impenetrable or seemingly difficult to surmount obstacle or barrier might actually just be something we travel right through, and all of a sudden we're into a whole new world of opportunity. That's a great lesson, and that the universe responds to that. That's a great lesson. The other great lesson is alignment and empowerment invite an even greater number of distractions. Because an energized being has more energy available to kind of receive and be sensitive and reach out. I feel like there's almost a way in which our energy comes alive, and our energy is reaching out into the universe, making connections, psychically, in a way that we are not aware of, but that's completely palpable and completely concrete, really. If we've had the experience of it, it's like, oh yeah, this is that thing happening. It happens this way all the time. When I feel like this, when I get myself to this place, this is how the doors open. And knowing that that's not always, knowing that it's not always a yes, knowing that you also, there's a fair amount of saying no that we need to be willing to do and able to do if we're going to stay in that place of alignment. That's something it's been an ongoing project of mine, is to not just get myself aligned, but stay there for long enough to really make movement. Stay aligned for a good distance, right? Alignment is great, even if it's momentary, but a lot more can happen if we stay aligned and if we keep our focus on the thing that we really want, that ultimately we really want to be focusing on. Even if in the moment it comes and goes, ultimately we know this is my thing. This is a big thing for me. So that's kind of what showed up today, was just an appreciation for how big of an effect we can have energetically when we really get ourselves locked in, and a wakefulness about what we then say yes to, so that we're not, getting aligned, starting to move, and then bending off the path into some little eddy that may or may not be really where we want to spend our time and energy. So yeah, still working with that. But we always kind of know. We always kind of know. What's really for us and what's really not. It's not hard to distinguish. So that's what I got today, people. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day. I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow.